Juan Soto broke with the Bronx. And now, under the lights of Queens, he's looking to write a new chapter in New York baseball. But as a reunion with the Yankees approaches, the entire city is asking, has he truly turned the page? Juan Soto's move from the New York Yankees to the New York Mets was more than one of the boldest transactions of the last offseason. It was an earthquake at the heart of Major League Baseball's biggest inner-city rivalry. Two clubs that share the same city but live in completely different realities with vastly different visions of the future. And Soto, one of the most coveted players in the league, chose to cross the city along with everything that implies. During the winter, the Yankees were confident. They had cleared space for Soto in the lineup and were banking on tradition, brand power, and the project led by Aaron Judge as decisive factors to keep him. But when the Mets came to the table, something changed. Owner Steve Cohen didn't just make an offer. He made a promise, a long-term commitment, with a 15-year deal worth $765 million guaranteed, potentially exceeding $800 million with performance bonuses. It was the biggest gamble in the franchise's history, and one of the biggest in MLB history. The Yankees, for their part, came close $760 million over 16 years. A strong, competitive offer. But according to reports in Soto's own words, it wasn't enough. In an interview with journalist John Heyman of the New York Post, the Dominican star said, "I made a decision, and I'm happy I did. By all accounts, the choice wasn't just about the contract's
Despite still playing at a high level,
but about the emotional and cultural structure offered by the Mets. The sense of belonging, of stability, of a family environment carried weight. At 26 years old, after memorable stints in Washington and San Diego, Soto was searching for more than dollars. He was searching for roots. If you follow the behind the scenes of MLB and want to stay on top of the stories behind the headlines, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Here, we analyze every decision for what it truly is, a long-term strategic move. And you're part of a community that breathes baseball with depth and passion. But not everything was simple. Soto made it clear that leaving the Yankees was a painful decision. The Yankees were option number one, he admitted. The emotional bond with the team, though brief, was real. And one factor made it even harder. Aaron Judge, Yankees captain, fan idol, and Soto's personal friend. During spring, Soto even said he missed playing alongside Judge. In turn, number 99 was understanding. He said he respected the decision and knew Soto was doing what was best for him and his family. That connection, that human bond, underscores the weight of the choice. It wasn't just a transaction between clubs. It was a shift in direction at a crucial moment in the career of one of the most talented players of the new generation. On the field, the beginning of the Soto era in Queens is promising, though not yet spectacular. In his first 43 games, he's posted a slash line of .255 batting average, .380 OBP, and .465 slugging, totaling an OPS of .845. Solid numbers, above league average, with 8 home runs and 20 RBIs. But considering the size of the contract and the prestige involved, many fans expected a more immediate impact. An offensive explosion that is yet to come. Still, the team is responding. The Mets lead the National League East Division with a 28-16 record. A strong start that backs a decision to invest heavily in Soto and projects a promising future for the franchise. But a crucial test looms. The highly anticipated series against the Yankees in the Bronx. Soto returns to Yankee Stadium. And this time, he'll be in the visitors' dugout. The same stadium that welcomed him with enthusiasm just months ago may now greet him with skepticism, maybe even boos. He knows it. He hasn't shied away from responsibility. On the contrary, he seems motivated. He said that this kind of situation might even push him to play better. And with the cameras rolling, fans divided, and the entire city watching, anything can happen. This reunion isn't just a symbolic moment. It represents a collision between past and future, between what could have been and what Soto has chosen to build. On one side, the Yankees trying to prove they can win without him. On the other, the Mets betting that he'll be the pillar of a new empire in Queens. The emotional, sporting, and narrative weight of this clash is enormous. And more. Will this decision, made in an office during the winter, hold up under the heat of rivalry, under the pressures of New York, under the ghost of a legacy that could have been written in pinstripes? Let us know in the comments. If you were in Juan Soto's shoes, would you have chosen the Mets or accepted the challenge of building a dynasty with the Yankees? The Bronx went silent, not because of a loss, but because of a headline. Oswaldo Cabrera, one of the most reliable names of the season so far, suffered a fracture in his left ankle. The image of him being sidelined echoed through the halls of Yankee Stadium like a warning. And now, with the lineup depleted and the most vulnerable part of the infield exposed, a new sense of urgency has taken hold behind the scenes. The name Eugenio Suárez is beginning to gain traction. On Tuesday, the New York Yankees saw their plan for third base collapse. Cabrera, who had started in 30 of the team's first 41 games, left injured and is expected to be out for months. While his bat wasn't the most feared, his consistency and defensive reliability were invaluable assets on a roster already dealing with offensive issues in several positions. His absence is not just a temporary setback. It's a misalignment in a system that was already operating on the edge. The first instinct was to look within. DJ LeMahieu is the natural replacement. He has the name, the resume, and has delivered in clutch moments. But the numbers don't lie. In his long career, he's never been a full-time starting third baseman for an entire season. On top of that, his .243 batting average last year raises doubts about whether he can hold down the position with the level of demand the moment requires. And that's where behind-the-scenes movement begins. The search for an external solution. Someone who can not only hold the line, but add to the Yankees' offensive DNA. Enter Eugenio Suárez, currently with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Before we go on, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Despite still playing at a high level, insiders only represents a short-term. You'll be ahead of the headlines, part of a community that breaks the game down the way it truly is, on and off the field. Suárez represents an almost tailor-made solution. In 2025, he already has 12 home runs and 28 RBIs. He's the kind of hitter who can transform a lineup from the middle down. Over his career, he surpassed 30 home runs in 5 seasons, including 3 of the last 4. And even though he's not known for a high batting average, his consistent production offers exactly what the Yankees lost with Cabrera's injury, and then some. The truth is, the Yankees still operate under the same model. Lots of power, high risk, and explosive rewards. They lead the league in home runs, with 74 even before last Wednesday. That's despite losing Juan Soto in free agency and Giancarlo Stanton to injury. But not every position contributes equally to that style. Cabrera was an exception. So is LeMahieu. What the Yankees need now is more pop, more depth. Someone who, even with a modest batting average, can change games with a single swing. And Suárez offers exactly that. But this potential trade runs into a key obstacle: Arizona's willingness to deal. The D-backs hold a record of 22 wins and 21 losses, which puts them right on the edge of wild card contention. Technically, they're in the hunt. But here's what few people consider. The franchise's culture is not one of going all in on a single season. Since 2018, when they traded Paul Goldschmidt, the Phoenix team has taken a cautious, flexible approach, adjusting the roster year after year, without clinging to names or contracts. And 2025 might be another year of retooling. 7 players on the current roster, including Eugenio Suárez, are in the final year of their contracts. 2 more have mutual option clauses. The only long-term investment has been in Corbin Burns, an elite talent signed below market value. The trend is clear. If there are signs the season isn't taking off by July, the team may shift to a seller profile and try to get value for assets on their way out. There's also the matter of the NL West, a battlefield. The Dodgers lead, but the Padres and Giants are close behind. And with 11 teams in the National League considering themselves real postseason contenders, the margin for error is razor thin. For the D-backs, slipping out of the middle of the pack and becoming a seller before the competition might be the only smart play, especially if they want to clear payroll by offloading Jordan Montgomery's heavy contract in the upcoming offseason. On the Yankees side, the moment calls for decisions. They reached the World Series last year because they bet big on offensive power. But with Soto gone, Stanton injured, and now Cabrera out, the team is walking dangerously close to the edge. Only 3 names have carried the lineup consistently: Aaron Judge, Trent Grisham, and Paul Goldschmidt. The rest fluctuate between inconsistency and frustration. Bringing in Suarez wouldn't solve every problem, but it would be a strong step toward another playoff run. Of course, the price wouldn't be cheap. 1 or 2 high-level prospects would likely be involved, but that's the cost of ambition. And in New York, winning has never been optional. It's a requirement. For many analysts, this is a classic case where a move now could prevent a collapse later. And for the Yankees, every game is a mirror of what lies ahead. Waiting too long could come at a high price. Acting early might define the season's fate. And you? Do you think it's worth sacrificing top farm system talent for Eugenio Suárez? Or should the Yankees trust what they already have, despite the visible holes in the lineup? Drop a comment below and join the conversation. Your voice helps shape this channel and influences the next videos, because here, every fan matters. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and follow along with us as we cover the most unpredictable Yankees season in years. Because in the Bronx, decisions don't wait, and the next one could change everything.